Now the topic before us is data. Now we will discuss what is the meaning of data, what is the meaning of information, and what is the difference between data and information. First of all, we will discuss about data. Data refers to raw facts and or figures. Data is an unsystematic fact or detail about something. Suppose you go to a shopkeeper and give him in writing in which it is written 10. Whether the shopkeeper can conclude from your writing the word 10, what do you want? Whether you want 10 liters of oil or 10 kilogram of atta or something else. So this is data. This is the raw facts from which nothing can be concluded properly. The data is derived from the Latin word datum, which means something given, a given, or something that should be taken into consideration. Plural of datum is data. The dictionary meaning of the word data is facts and statistics collected together for reference or analysis. Data alone has no certain meanings until and unless data is explained and interpreted. It is just a collection of texts, numbers, words, and symbols. Here we will give an example. Suppose you have something before you in which it is written one Rihanna, $5,000, and then there are certain numbers. Can you conclude something from it? You can say that this is serial number, this is maybe the name of an employee or customer, this may be his salary or his account balance. You cannot conclude anything properly. This is data. Another example is here a few words are written. Can you conclude something from it? No, we cannot. This is also a data. This figure is data, and this it does not provide any meaning to us. Next, we have a set of numbers before us: $500, $1,000, and so on. These are also just figures. These are raw facts. These numbers are data, and they do not convey anything concrete to us. Now we come to what is information. When the data is processed and transformed in such a way that it becomes useful to the users, it is known as information. Information is drawn from the data. Information is a systematic and filtered form of data which is useful. Information is free from unnecessary details or immaterial things. The raw data is analyzed, organized in such a way that only the necessary information of the data is kept and the rest of the data is discarded. The term information is discovered from the Latin word informere, which means to inform. Information refers to the meaningful data. Now, what we have given the example in our data, we are reproducing below the same in the form of a table. You can see here that the said information has been given in the form of a table where one is serial number, Rihanna is a name, and $5,000 is the salary per week. And these are the numbers which represent the mobile number of Rihanna or the contact number of Rihanna. We had also discussed about these numbers when we were discussing about data. These figures are only just data, but if we write that date of birth is 2nd Jan 1984, it becomes information, because this information, this data shows the date of birth of a particular person. We had also discussed the figures of, that is $500, $1,000, $1,500. These were just figures. We do not know whether these are the salary figures of different persons, or the salary figures of a particular person for the different years, or the bank balance of a particular person which a person is having in different accounts, or the bank balance which is increasing year by year of a particular person. So all these are just figures. We cannot conclude anything from that. These are just numbers. These are data. But when you analyze these figures in the context of a sales report, that is, if you prepare the sales report and these figures are shown there, then you can say that in the first month the sales figures are $500, and in the next month the sales figures have gone to $1,000, and in the third month the sales figures of the organization have gone to $1,500, and so on. Now this is the information which has been presented to us in the form of a sales report, and from this information you can conclude whether the sales of the organization are increasing every month, what is the average sales during all these months, and what is the total sales, and what steps you would like to take to increase your sales in the future. So on the basis of the information we can take decisions what as an organization we should do to improve the working of the organization. But if we have mere facts, only the data, only the figures before us, which are not relevant to us, not useful to us, so we cannot take any decision on the basis of data. We have to take decision on the basis of the information, that is the relevant data. Information is utilized in some significant way, such as to make decisions, forecasts, etc. Now we will understand the difference between data and information. First of all, what is the meaning of data? Data means raw facts gathered about someone or something. On the other hand, information, when the data is processed and transformed in such a way that it becomes useful to the users, it is called information. Now, what is the form of data? Data is unorganized. It is randomly collected facts and figures. On the other hand, information is organized. When the data is organized, it becomes information. Information presents the data in a better way. Data may or may not be useful, but information is always useful. With meaningful data, that is information, the organization can take decision. Data does not depend on information, whereas information depends on data, because the information is based on the data. We process the data, we retain the useful data and discard the unuseful data. If there is no data, there will be no information. You cannot make a decision on the basis of data. On the other hand, we can make a decision on the basis of information. The examples of data are temperature readings 25 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, the example of information is average temperature this week 26.33 degree Celsius. In the world of computers, data is the input, or what you tell the computer to do, save. Information is the output, or how the computer interprets your data and shows you the requested action or directive. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.